Yeah, Waste Management got banged up because of the earnings. It was an earnings thing. Give it a couple days; it'll just rebound right now. But I just got asked by Trader Daymark in the room what the kind of a preview of some of the picks going into next week. Tomorrow's Thursday. I actually will be here working on the HPS watch list tomorrow night because I have a busy schedule on Friday. So I'm not going to be here Friday night. So I want to try to get it done by Friday. But this will be definitely on the list. Any of these software companies, software application companies, try to stick to the best of breed. Coop, I believe, is one of those best of breed. Then we have Team, and you can see the lower trend line there. And then we have Plan, which is right on the 200 period moving average. If we break down through that 200 period moving average, it sets us up for that 200 EMA breakdown channel line bounce, which, would bring us down here a little bit further. That seems like a key area to be in it. I would love to be able to start to scale in, but I think Coop is the one I'm liking. If this ended up getting down there, though, I would have to be looking at all these stocks down at the lower trend line. And we talked about McDonald's MCD already down to the 200 plus a lower trend line off a 1, 2, 3 pattern. Chopped around it, dropped, failed. Earnings came out. Whatever it sold off. Give it 2 to 3 days here, settle in, and then people realize, what the hell are we doing? Let's get back into McDonald's. It's kind of a coiled up setup, so I like the McDonald's going forward. I like the Coop going forward. We'll take a look at Waste Management for a second. It did get a knockdown. Look at the perfect channel right now. This was actually a divergence, too. So I can't say anything about it being a divergence, even though I did hold into earnings. I was looking for maybe it to hold around here. I didn't expect a big smackdown today in this, and it did come down to recent lows. So let's see if it actually holds this level. All right, let's see if it holds this level. I'll get back on the video here. Of a break of this previous high, which is going to be 522. Not much going on today. Stochastics are actually still looking pretty strong here, which I think there is good. And we're holding right around the 20 period moving average. And even this old trend line which collapsed on us because it was a bear raid on the stock. And like, what the hell is a bear raid? Well, we kind of went over how a bear raid happens. It happens in a certain situation where a stock is prone to selling because of a lot of nervousness in the stock, and then a big event might be coming up. Also a technical level being broken, and it's right around the news area, so everyone's expecting news, and it starts selling off. People automatically think there's been a leak. So what happened is it started selling off. We broke through that $5 level, and then we got some serious selling. But look, it came right back here, very strong. We're right under that $5 level, expecting this to hold. This happened before in the stock back here. It popped, and then it dropped, and then it gapped down, and then ran up, and then it came out with some good FDA, phase 2 trial results, and it popped up here to $10 after it, chopped around here. And then a nice pop, and it continued pushing higher. So, again, phase 3 is right around the corner. How far does this one go? Does it come out good? I think we're going to start to move up into this news. And I think that might happen this week. But again, 522 will be my zone I'll be watching. The area above 542 would be a break of that candle, and that would probably be extremely bullish, and I think that would be chasing people. And watch the volume over this. This selling today came on very light volume. Nothing really to talk about. Nothing to talk about. I will talk about this area, the circle of the circle here. About four insiders have picked up stock down here over the last week. Last week, 2 weeks ago, when the price was down here. When it dipped, insiders came out, and they picked it up. So that is one you have to find out on the Canadian Insider List. It's also a Canadian company, also trades on the U.S. exchanges. It's a biotech, and it's doing a drug for lupus. and they're in their phase 3 test, and they're expecting the results before the end of the year. Could be a blockbuster drug if the results are good. They had issues in phase 2, but then they cleared them up. Now they're in phase 3. This is big. Good results. This thing's probably a triple from here. We're thinking trading above $10 to $15. If it failed, phased, whatever goes wrong, then you're probably looking at under $3. There's a few stocks there that I like. There's a lot of stocks on the HBS watch list. Most of them are those 200 period moving average breakdowns. So we're going to talk about the setup today, and then we're going to close up the video because I know we're already getting. So we identified our best trade zone area. So how do we approach this? Decided this was a divergence. We're on a lower trend line. It's a big channel, meaning our divergence probably is going to break us out of this bigger channel, and that would be significant because that's a nice move just to get up to the top of the channel, and then the follow through might even be big. So there's a big chance here. Probably at the time we're looking at our 5-minute time frame too, and we got a 5-minute setup. So all these things combined gave us this, this super signal. We call it a super signal. So there's different ways to approach that. If you're a futures trader, you can just get in the futures, the ES Mini, the MES. And again, like I said, sometimes these charts, show up on a net. They all trade together in some cases. Some cases not depend, especially when there's earnings out. Sometimes there'll be an index that is affected by a big component, a weighted component of their index. So it could be moving against the grain in one way or another. But lots of times you can find these setups on both the NASDAQ and the Dow. In this case, I do believe that the Dow had a setup here also. So, the futures is a way. And I like the futures. I like the MES. I like the addition of the new micro ES mini contract. It is 1/10 the S&P contract. $50 margin instead of $500 margin. And $500 margin is, low. That's a, discount broker, which is fine, versus like an interactive broker, $4,000 for an ES contract. So it's definitely a way to go. Would not stray from advising you to go to a good broker for futures. I use NinjaTrader. I use interactive brokers. I've always had interactive brokers, but I don't trade too many futures with them. I use my interactive broker account for my futures. My NinjaTrader for my futures. If I said that, I don't know if I said that right. So today, we're going to go out and we're going to take a look at the SPY. Remember, this kind of setup right here, we're looking at a 1-minute chart from 12 o'clock to about 2:30. So let's bring up the SPY, which I'm trading. I'm going to go and trade the options on this. Why not? They're really, really cheap here. So I'm looking at the 1-minute chart, and I'm going out to the time frame that I was looking at. Hold on, I'm just going to set this up here. So between like 12 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Was it? No. Let me double check what we're doing here. All right, so 11:45 down to 2:30. Nice pullback. About 2:30 we took that trade. So I'm looking at the SPY. And about 2:30 we took that trade, and we're looking at this. That's the 1-minute time frame. You could actually see you can actually see that divergence right here. It's a pretty decent divergence right here, identifying that low. Now I want to see, bear with me here, I'm going to try to zoom that in. Also have a multiple divergence signal here also setting up, but you can see the divergence here. It's a running divergence, 3 more divergences lining up. From that point on, we kind of got that 4th divergence, or actually the 3rd, that running divergence, 1, 2, 3. This is the 3rd right here. Come on. Now I want to overlay the option chain over that, and I shut down everything before because the volume was going on. That's something going on, but I want to bring up my trade alerts again, just to kind of give me an update on what exact price we got in there. So we picked up the October 25 299 calls at 239. 239 in the so the October 25 calls right here. 299, the 299 is right there. And we're going to open that chart up for you. It's probably an easier way of doing this, but this is what I want to, it's the way I know how to do it. What's nice about this is using the TC2000 charts. All right, so here we have the setup. We have that downward trend line. We'll just call it here. We had that downward trend line. We had a divergence. And we had a retest of the trend line and off to the races. So we got a divergence here. What price did we get in at? We got in at $1 even. So right around this trade, it was trading around $1 even. I think we got in right down here. We actually had a great trade on this. So right down here, just came out of the divergence. We got $1 on that. I want to circle that area. That was our entry zone. It's probably my trade right there. And that's based off of our setup. So we're looking for the market to rally at this point. Now remember, we're paying $1 per contract. All right, $1. So that's $100. It's $100 per contract. Picked up 4 of those. It cost me $400. So at that point here, let me get back over to here. We could start to follow that up. Now, it doesn't take much to move this percentage-wise. I think we got, I only got about 30 cents on it. Took a while, right? But when we got that pop, we got that pop. So it was right around, took it off at 333, so 333. So yeah, it was right around here. I took it off, 129ish, 129. So that was the move off of that 29 cents, which was 31% move on our trade, 31% move. But it continued to move higher, and actually closed here up 63%, up 62 cents off of $1 trade. Imagine doing that with $1 penny stock. All right, imagine doing that just with $1 penny stock. You know, buying a dollar and getting 62 cents out of it. It's like Rockstar stuff, material. But you could see this type of move all the time trading these SPY options. And you're in the money when you get in. They were trading at $2.99, so I got the $2.99s. The price was right around $2.99. I got right in there. I was trading on par. It was $1. So meaning that we were pretty close to breaking even. We got a breakout and a big setup. That was the spot. And when you talk about the options, $1, that's I'm tolerant of that being my stop. I was saying, all right, this is a good setup. If it starts to break down, I probably could rescue it, but it take some of it off. But I'm willing to kind of take this trade because it's such a good level and let it play out. So it might work against me, but majority of the time, this is the type of setup I want to take. I want to get that option trade, get a 30% move. This ended up giving up a much bigger move. It went up another 30%. It went up 60-something percent. But that is that's how we approach that. So again, the option here was expiring in a couple days. Friday expiration, trading at the strike price. So the price is $2.99. I was looking at the $2.99 calls a couple of days. They were trading in par $1. And if you're going to get that move, you're going to get an on par move with that. You're going to get a nice move. I mean, you will eventually tomorrow. You will have that. We're above that level. We're above that $2.99. It went up to 300, but you will end up being, if you're under that $2.99, we'll lose value real fast with that time decay. So that's why you want to use this technique on only the best setups. The best setups. And look at the nice move, though. It really did take off here, and from that point on, could have even gotten back in it. I mean, these trades are here all the time. Now, we could go back here. Let's just go back for a second and take a look at. Let's see what we could recognize here. I think there was. I don't have any divergences set up here. I bet there was a divergence here. I don't know. I mean, I don't have the stochastics on this chart here. But I bet you at 145. 145. Let's take a look at 145. All right, here's your 145 divergence. You can see the high here, then the higher high, but the lower high here. That was your divergence. And again, I could smell these like a fart in a closet. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that high, higher high, lower high. So that is the setup right there. That is the setup we want to be searching for. Let's get back to the that's how I want to approach that with the SPY calls. Again, pretty much straight up with the MES or the S&P futures. You have to just buy into that. And typically you want to, with everything lined up underneath us, you have to establish that stop. You can't say, all right, well, they're going to fake and juke me out of this one. Technically, I would definitely probably put that stop underneath that divergence low, because if that continues to break down out of here, that would be a pretty decent breakout. I mean, I've seen it, kind of capitulate out and then pop back up, and I'd be worried about that. But this, because it's such a good setup, you have to define your stop underneath it a couple ticks. Or you do a scale in here, and you maybe predict that might happen. Maybe you're thinking they're going to shake you out and then reverse. Because this pattern, even though it is, a breakdown sometimes is a good thing. It's kind of a capitulatory move, and just almost like this is kind of a rise and wedge, but then a breakout. But again, 5:30, we say, very interesting time of the day, and we got to be careful on that time frame. Here is today's chart right now, and we eventually got a little move up here. Let's see if we could identify anything. We did have, while we were looking at this over here before, I don't even know. There was an area over here we kind of got a breakthrough. I'm just looking at the trend line down here. And then I want to just set it up again over here. Just kind of throwing that together, feeling like the bing, bang, bong. Not seeing anything. Just a triple stochastic sell signal or buy signal right here where they all come down right like this. And that's another easy basic technique that I look at sometimes. It's just what we call the easy rotation. All of them rotate together. They all bounce together. And that just took out the, made new lows, took out the lows, and then bounced. So again, situation where the market here tends to sneak in there, take out your stops, then reverse and move higher. That's a good example of it right there. It's like, all right, well, this is a nice channel. Maybe we're starting to get something, double bottom, maybe divergence. Oh, let me take out the lows and then reverse. The setup right now, again, you got a nice little pop. Now you have, it looks like a little bullish flag appearing here. And again, I'll just go over this and we'll probably shut this video down for the night. You're looking at a very, strong 60-10 right now. It's kind of hanging right up here around 80. It's not above 80. The higher this number down here, the stronger the trend, the 60-10. Higher the 60 to 10, the stronger the trend. Bam. You have a possible flag set up. You have a nice, kind of aggressive move higher on, slightly increasing volume. That's all you need to make your flagpole. Then you have a pullback to the 20. You have a fast rotation on this, and you hold this above 80. Now this is 78. I say the higher this is, the stronger that flag is, and that's what you have to strive for. At one point, you have to, draw the line. I sometimes say, well, it's hanging in there, and sometimes it will move on the 78 line. But at one point, you have to draw the line and say, I'm either going to take it on 78 or I'm going to wait for above 80. And that's why the bot has programmed this in.
Order submitted.
And I think it just took a trade. It just identified. I think it just identified a bull flag on the bot. I can't have the volume on because apparently I'm talking and I'm not talking anymore in the background. But this just identified, you can see it in the room right there. You see it in the room, a bull flag. We're just talking about the bull flag. And there you have the rock bot identifying that for you, even after hours. Now it's a little bit more difficult after hours. I'm not that comfortable in identifying these patterns where any volume could come in and just crush anything. These things are jumping around. But the criteria is there, and as you can see, there is also an automatic little move here that just happened. If this breaks out here, right now, I mean, it's just to see it live, and I'll just shut down everything. We're going to go underground with this. Just going to go underground. Taking it all home. Anyway, we're coming to the end of the video here. I hope you gained some knowledge from these 3 videos that I'm going to put out now. 3 videos. Hope you gain that. We teach that every day here at Day Trading Radio. Live trading. And this is how I want to approach the markets every day. And that's how I approach the markets every day here live at DayTradingRadio.com. So if you do get this and you're interested in it, stop by. Check us out. Tune us in. You can also put us on TuneIn Radio, even if you're at work or in your car in the morning. It's really good. I tell you, you have gas call in. It's nothing more like listening to gas on the way to work. You know where I'm at. All right, so I want to send you say goodbye to the outside. For those out there listening to the show live here, I'll stay with you a bit. I'll be right back. Let me say goodnight to everyone out there.